Thanks, Josh. I will now be speaking to you about choosing the right degree path to set you up for success. So, first off, let's talk about job outlooks. Whenever you're choosing a degree path, you need to be sure and research your job outlook and know that that is a job that's in demand before pursuing the degree. So, just because a degree sounds great doesn't mean that it actually is great, because if you can't get a job in the degree that you're trying to obtain, then having that degree is worthless. So, job outlooks are fairly easy to obtain. There's many websites you can go to obtain these and see the actual hiring statistics and how many of these jobs are being sought after. So next, I would like to speak about pre-work. Before you ever begin pursuing your degree, the things that you should look for before going after the degree. So one of the things you can do is put in observation hours. Find somebody that actually does the job that you're wanting to do and go sit in with them. Observe their job. Sometimes you actually even get paid to do this as, say, an internship or an apprentice. But just observe, and after a few days or a week in actually seeing the job that you thought you wanted to do, you may not even want to do it. So the next thing that kind of goes along with that is maybe if you don't want to observe, just go talk to people that are doing what you're going for in your field of study. People that are actually doing that job, or maybe even further along in their degree. See how hard it was for them to actually find that job. See the pay outlook for the job. You don't want to go to school to get a degree that you think is going to make a certain amount of money, when in your area it's not going to make anywhere near that, and you're not happy with it in the long run anyways. The next thing is just network. The more people you talk to in relation to your field of study, the better chances you'll have of getting a job. That doesn't only relate to getting the job out of college, that's once you have the degree as well in your job. The more you network, the more people you know, the better chances you'll have of advancement and actually getting that job. So now I'd like to speak to you about a few of the degrees that you can go for. One of them is the medical field. How many people do you know in the medical field? How many doctors do you know that are unemployed? How many RNs do you know that are unemployed? According to usnews.com, nurses have only a 2.6% unemployment rate. That's great. I mean, thinking about other jobs that you could go for and end up not finding a job, most of the time when you finish a job as an RN or anything in the medical field, there's medical fields out there, medical companies that are actually seeking you directly out of college. That will actually give you a bonus just to come to work for them. U.S. News also rated 7 out of 10 of the best jobs in the medical field, and they're in demand practically everywhere. You're not going to get a degree somewhere as a nurse or a x-ray technician or pharmacy tech and find some area that does not need that job profession. It's needed everywhere. The next one I'd like to speak on is energy. You need energy everywhere. It's all around you, whether it's wind, solar, nuclear, oil, gas, coal. It's always going to be needed. That's something that you can't go without. To where you've got certain job outlooks that are, I guess you would say, hobbies or such that people use these for, that in a recession or such, they could do away with that job. When you're picking a job, be sure you pick one that if something does go under, or we do fall into a recession, it's one that you cannot go without. Plant operators, for one, according to studentscholarships.com, they have only a 2.3% unemployment rate. So I myself, working in the energy business, have just recently seen a layoff happen. And yes, in the energy business we did have a layoff, but there is jobs that they cannot do without. Just the plants, for example, the gas has to be treated, because if the plant operators aren't there to treat the gas, then you don't have gas for your homes, you don't have fuel for your vehicles, you don't have fuel to run the power plants that give you electricity to your house. Energy is used everywhere, and it'll always be needed. That was just a few jobs that you could look after, and that's my suggestion to you, is be sure and do your homework, look into your job, and make sure you're picking a degree that is going to be needed. So, although I've just given you some great advice on picking a degree for your job, I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Derek Bryan, who's going to tell you some more information about helping those that are already unemployed. Thank you.